Here is our 10 most effective health and safety regulations for Cadbury's. In businesses that use machinery like Cadbury's, it is important that employees are protected using earplugs to prevent them from getting long-term damage to their hearing. In the event of an employee damaging their hearing at work, the company will be liable to pay compensation. The Food Standards Agency Act of 1999 ensures that all foods are prepared and delivered through the correct processes, which is safe for customer consumption. Not following these regulations can lead to businesses having to pay fines and, in extreme cases, shutting down production. Displaying screen equipment, 1992. This relates to any work done on computers or screened technology. Employees must have training to work on computers. For example, how to sit at a desk comfortably to prevent back and neck strain. Risk assessment management. When performing any tasks which may result in potential injury, it must be documented and followed up with specialized training to prevent any harm during the task. Every risk assessment produced must be certified by a lines manager and then approved before being done. Manual Handling Operations Regulation 1992. Employees must have special training in order to lift heavy boxes and items. These tasks are usually performed in long shifts in a factory, so injuries are likely to sustain without training. Information for Employees Regulation 1989. It is important that there are posters visible for employees to read. An example of a poster that may be put up is a poster about wearing eye protection. Provision of Use of Work Equipment Regulations 1998. In a business like Cadbury's, they need to make sure that all the functioning machinery is safe to use and any equipment that could potentially harm any person must be replaced, repaired or trained to use, depending on the circumstances. Personal Protective Equipment 1992. This regulation states that employees working with machinery must use the appropriate equipment when operating. A good example of this is that Cadbury's make sure employees stirring chocolate must wear the following protective goggles, gloves and appropriate clothing. Reporting Diseases, Injuries and Dangerous Occurrences Regulations of 1995. If any injuries happen to occur in the organization, the employer are required to report the incidents so the employee is covered and given compensation if needed.
Felicity managers are people who overview each department of a business, making sure all regulations are followed and safety is reinforced in each department. Without them, employees are supervised and are in risk to injury. Fire marshals and emergency services are very important for a business, especially like Cadbury's, as Cadbury's holds factories and departments that increase high risk to fire and other health problems. So having a fire marshal on site is very important, and it increases safety for all employees and machinery. And emergency services are likely to be called as soon as a incident occurs. Every individual Cadbury's has a role and responsibility they have to worry about to ensure that health and safety is the number one priority in the business. Every single role and responsibility from the employee has to make sure that the safety is reinforced and all regulations are followed accordingly. Every single employee influences the productivity of Cadbury's, and when one employee fails, the rest will soon follow.